News, views, interviews on WROW AM 590, WYJB B95.5. Normally it's Aaron Mayer and Joe Condon. This week, Aaron Mayer is down south in West Virginia. But we're still doing the program, and we are honored to have with us Angelo Santa Barbara, who is a member of the Schenectady County Legislature.
Thank you,
and
Joe.
A dear friend that's been on the air with us quite a few times over the years.
Yes, thanks, Joe. It's great to be back on for the first time on this show, but it's great to be back here on the air with you.
Well, it's an honor to have you back. Now, I hear, by looking at Facebook and listening to the radio and looking at television, you've been a busy Angelo this summer. Could you tell us what's going on?
Well, I've been very busy. I've been a member of the Schenectady County Legislature for 5 years. That keeps me busy in and of itself. But also this year, I'm running for the new Assembly District, the 111th, used to be the 105th. So that includes Montgomery County, part of Schenectady County, and part of Albany County. So I've been trying to get to all parts of this new district, and it has kept me busy. I've done a lot of walking. And as you can see on Facebook, I've been kind of trying to keep my my constituents and people in the district up to date as to where I've been. And the famous saying on there, I'll be in your neighborhood soon. Well, I'll be in your neighborhood soon.
Well, I'm very pleased that you have part of Albany County, and you have the part up in the Helderberg Mountains, Burn, in that area where I used to spend my childhood. My grandmother and great aunt had a camp up there, and we would spend summers there. Beautiful, beautiful country. Yes,
you were talking about that. It does. This district does include the town of Burn and the town of Knox, and I've had a chance to visit those areas. Very beautiful area. Really scenic views. It was great to be there. Great to meet some people out there, make some friends. I'm happy that it's part of this district, and hopefully I'll get a chance to represent the residents there as well.
And when you go back up to the verse again, go to Knox Cave. It's something that a lot of people don't know about, but a lot of people up there know about it. But have someone with you because you might get it.
I'll keep that in mind, Joe.
Now tell us, what are the big issues that you find as you go around talking to voters in the Capital Region this year?
Well, of course, there's always the issue of taxes. Trying to keep taxes low is always a struggle. And I know the governor's passed the legislature's passed a tax cap. And keeping taxes low is the big issue. But also, I've been hearing that people want jobs, looking for places to work locally, not necessarily having to travel to work. And that's been a big issue of ours in Schenectady County. We've been able to unify economic development. And I know we talked about this once before, but we've been able to keep the economic development going to create local jobs where people can live and work close, keep families together. Keeping families together is what it's all about. If families are split up, or if you're driving 45 minutes an hour to work, sometimes that splits up families, and that's never good. What we need to do is unify economic development for the region and try and create local jobs and try and keep families together, less traveling, more time at home. And with that comes, the tax base as well, and we're able to keep taxes low as we've done in Schenectady County as well.
How do you plan on creating jobs?
Well, in the cities is the key. I think people do want to live. For the longest time, it seemed that people were leaving the cities, going away from the cities, and now I think people want to come back to the cities. Infrastructure is already in place. A lot of the buildings are reusable. A lot of businesses like to band together, so to speak. It's nice to have a group of businesses together. They kind of thrive on each other, and creating those opportunities in the cities brings businesses back, and it allows people to have jobs locally.
You know how it is in the Capital Region. If you're from Schenectady, you pretty much stay to Schenectady. If you're from Albany, you pretty much do that. Same with Troy. Well, I've had the honor to MC a zillion, and still have a few more coming up, concerts at Freedom Park in Scotia this summer. And the one thing I noticed going through Schenectady, a lot has happened in Schenectady in the past year and a half. You're right. It's a city that's turning around, and it looks like there's a lot happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of businesses coming back. We've been able to form partnerships that weren't there with companies like General Electric, bring in new industrial development. We've been able to bring some high-tech jobs back to the area. These are jobs that they're not necessarily the jobs of years ago, but a little bit at a time, we've been able to bring over 5,000 jobs back to Schenectady County. We've been able to keep that record going, and we've been able to make government more efficient and keep taxes low. We're there to represent the people in Schenectady County. The message was we want to keep taxes low at the county. We've been able to do that. 5 out of the past 7 years, we've been able to keep taxes, hold the line on taxes, or actually lower taxes.
Now, I know rail service is very important to the capital region and transportation as well, and I understand that Amtrak is going to be building a new Amtrak station in the city of Schenectady.
Yes, I saw that go out. They're looking to sort of bring back a historic look to that station. And you know, the train stations of years ago were very. I really appreciate the architecture, and I know that you see them around the region. And we're looking to bring that back as well into the city of Schenectady. I know the library just underwent an expansion as well. We're trying to keep these facilities up to date, keep them current, so that people get use out of them, and also bring back that city feel. I drove down Erie Boulevard in Schenectady not too long ago. It was around maybe not quite noon yet, and I was at the intersection of State and Erie, and I noticed that I could not get through the intersection. And I was thinking to myself, wow, years ago, this was not the case. You could get right through. Now the traffic was stalled. There were so many cars coming through there. And that's a sign. That's a sign how things have turned around. And now we need to do it for the region. And that's why I'm running for the state assembly. I want to bring these concepts to, as a state legislator, and do some economic development, bring some jobs back, start to get taxes under control for the region.
News, views, and interviews on WRWAM 590, WYJBB 95.5. Aaron Mayer is not here. Joe Conn filling in for Aaron, or with you as we are every week. Our guest is Angelo Santa Barbara, a member of the Schenectady County Legislature, and a gentleman who is running for the 111th Assembly District. Why do you want to do? Well, you and I have talked about this before. Politics is so rough, and I mean, you make one misstep, and people want you to step down from office. Why do you want to get into this?
Well, it's I ran for office in 2007. I'm a lifelong resident,
right?
And I went to Shelmont High School in Rotterdam, and I'm now married. I have 2 kids. I live in the area. I'm going to live here for the rest of my life. I know I'm not going anywhere. I had a chance to run for office in 2007. When I graduated high school in 1990, I had a chance to serve in the military. I served in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
That's a tough post.
Yeah, it gets it's hot and it's cold there. So
I did Fort Dix. It was much easier there.
Well, you see, it was a great experience. I'm glad I did it right out of high school. I got a chance to serve the country.
What branch of the service were you in?
Army Reserve.
Okay.
I got a chance to serve the country. I came back, and I actually was stationed at the Hillside Avenue base in Niskayuna. And I had a chance to go to school. I became a professional engineer. I always wanted to do engineering. I like to solve problems. I like to get into the details, get into the technical parts of problems, and come up with solutions. And I came back to this area, and I found myself, I had chances, opportunities to go other places, and I found that this is home for me. And I got a chance in 2007, to be a part of what's going to happen here in the future, to make a difference, to help, to contribute. And as a professional engineer, there's all sorts, people on the county legislature come from all different backgrounds. We have physicians, we have attorneys, we have people from all different backgrounds. And it's good that as an engineer, I bring something different. I bring something different to the table, a different way of looking at things, and I want to contribute. My kids are growing up here. They're walking the same streets that I do. I remember Proctor's Theater. They're in the Shelmont public school system, and it's kind of nice that they're going through the same sort of growing up that I did. And it means something to me. This area means something to me, and I want to be able to make a difference. And so I've been a county legislator for 5 years. I think that I am able to contribute and to make a difference in the area. And now I have a chance to do it at the state level, and I look forward to bringing some of those same ideas to the state legislature.
You've always been very caring about the veterans, and I'm going to mention, first of all, that there's going to be a veterans job fair starting at 1 o'clock this afternoon at the Holiday Inn Express in Latham. Yours truly, Joe Conn. We're going to be broadcasting from there on B95.5. But you have been helping the veterans in the Capital Region, and you started your own sort of veterans organization, or the AMVETS?
Yes, the AMVETS. We had talked about this a while ago. And we were able to actually bring the first AMVETS post to the town of Rotterdam, my hometown. And this is a project, Joe, that I think I talked to you about probably over a year ago. and we finally got a chance to get a group of other veterans together to work on this project, and we were finally able to form the post. We're off and running, and we're looking to do some good things in the community. MVets, of course, is a veteran service organization. We do things for veterans. We're involved in ceremonial Memorial Day activities. We're able to connect with other veterans. We're able to talk about the issues that affect veterans and be a voice overall for the veterans in the area.
What are some of the issues impacting veterans in the Capital Region right now that you're most concerned with?
Well, I think that for one, in Schenectady County, we try to come up with programs that help. I think oftentimes the veterans in the country are overlooked, and they're not necessarily, I know that they don't have necessarily the advocacy that more other groups have. I think that we need to start paying attention, figuring out, when they come back from service, what are some of the issues affecting them? I hear all sorts of stories that their quality of life goes way, way down, and I think that we need to start looking at these things and trying to figure out how we can help them come back and make an easier transition back to our society.
Does Angelo Santa Barbara have a website? That's an easy question because we're about to go into a break. I would bet you know the web address.
ANGELO 2012.
Okay, why don't you repeat that one more time?
Angelo2012.com. At ANGELO 2012.
And he's also on Facebook, too, and he'll keep you updated on his activities, believe me. And very interesting. You're with a lot of cool folks in the Capital Region. I like the pictures all the time. I'm Joe Condon. News, views, interviews on WROW AM 590, WYJB B95.5. Aaron Mayer, he'll be back with us next week. Welcome back to News, Views, and Interviews on WROW AM 590, WYJB B95.5. Aaron Mayer, he's on vacation. He's down in West Virginia. Joe Condon, and our guest this week is Schenectady County Legislator Angelo Santa Barbara, who is running for the 111th Assembly District. And for the folks that just tuned in and missed the first segment, why are you doing this to yourself again?
Yes, I'm still here, Joe, and I'm actually a county legislator, and I'm looking to move to the open seat for the new 111th Assembly District. I've represented the Schenectady County constituents for the past 5 years, and now I'm looking to bring some of those ideas and concepts to the state legislature, and this looks like a great opportunity. I've been out in Montgomery County and Albany County. I've been to the city of Amsterdam, as well as Schenectady County, and I've got a chance to really connect, really get my message across, and really talk about some of the economic development, some of the jobs we've been able to bring to the area over the past 5 years, how we've been able to restructure county government and keep taxes low as a result, and really deliver for the residents. And I want to start doing that. I want to take this opportunity to do that at the state level.
I said this to John McDonald, and I'll ask you the same question. In Cohoes, the people love John McDonald. For the past 13 years, he has done so much for that city. And a lot of people are like, oh, no, we like you, stay here with us. And I know you've done the same thing in Schenectady County. You've done so many great things in the Schenectady County legislature. And I'm sure a lot of folks are saying to you, oh, no, don't leave the legislature. You've been doing these great things for us.
Well, my hometown, Rotterdam, it will still represent them. They're in the 111th. That's what's nice about it. They're in the Assembly District. Princetown and Duanesburg as well. They're in the Assembly District. I will still be their representative. I will just be at the state level. I've always made it a point to be very accessible as a legislator, not to be, I return all my own calls, I respond to all my own emails, and I write all my own letters back. Personally, I want to know what's going into those letters. I want to make those phone calls. If there's events going on, things that I get invited to, I make every effort to be there. I miss very, very few. I want people to be able to see me and talk to me and tell me the issues going on, and that's really the only way you can properly represent your district.
What are some of the issues that we didn't discuss in the first segment of the show that are of a big concern to you?
Well, one of the things that's going on right now is the New York State Thruway toll hikes.
Mm-hmm.
I've come out against this. I think it's something that they need to withdraw and not impose this additional burden on our businesses and the travel that use the Thruway to conduct business. It's going to cause a lot of problems for families that are already struggling. Prices of goods are going to go up, and it's something that I think that is not. It's very bad for business and it's very bad for families.
Well, we have incredible gasoline tax in New York State, unbelievable
we do.
gas tax. And then, so the truckers come in from other states and they have to deal with gassing up in New York State and paying our taxes. Then these increased throughway toll hikes, and they're saying New York is open for business. There seems to be a little bit of a contradiction there.
Right, and it is a contradiction, and the economy is still not back yet. Families are still barely making it. Some families are struggling. We cannot start to do things like this and make it more difficult when you go to a grocery store and your bill is that much higher because this cost gets passed down. That's unacceptable. I've written letters to the comptroller's office. I've written letters to the governor, asking him to look at this, and I've written letters to the Thruway Authority as well, asking them to not go through with this.
By the way, speaking of gasoline prices, I told you I'm going over to Freedom Park on a regular basis. The mobile station right by Freedom Park has the cheapest gas in the capital region, and every week the condos
well, that's good to know.
fill up there. Yeah. Angela will be stopping there.
Oh wow! Maybe on the way home I might have to stop there.
Oh right, they do. They have the cheapest gasoline prices in the capital region.
Yeah, there's a way to keep track of that online. I think
Right.
There's something where it tells you where the lowest prices are.
Well, anyway, from Menands to Freedom Park. I'll tell you
It's quite a bit of expense to commute, and a lot of people from Montgomery County, especially, they travel to Albany.
Right.
They use the Thruway to go to work every day.
We were talking about our dear friend Mayor Ann Thane. You've been out to, Montgomery County and Amsterdam, home of Chris
Yes.
Iorio, former NFL player.
Oh yeah, yes. Chris is a very good friend of mine, and I visit Mayor Ann Thane quite often. In the city of Amsterdam, I've spent a lot of time there lately. I've been wearing out my shoes, hitting the pavement over the past several months here, and I've been able to talk to Chris and Mayor Ann Thane.
Well, in Amsterdam, in Schenectady, and then in like up in Bern and the Helderberg Mountains, all of the problems are different, right? Or the issues are different.
Well, yeah.
Similar and different.
Yes, there's different local issues, of course. But the one recurring issue right now, the one thing that I hear consistently is jobs. People are looking for jobs. They want local jobs, and the economic development is what creates those jobs. And it's something we've been very successful at doing in Schenectady County, and being able to revive the city. Cities are quite an asset to have. The infrastructure is already there, as I mentioned earlier. The buildings are already there. You got a head start on it already. Now we need to attract the businesses. We need to bring the jobs back. We've been able to bring over 5,000 jobs back to Schenectady, put people back to work, and as a result, build more tax base. And that's something we need to start doing as a region. We can't forget about areas we can't forget about other areas surrounding Schenectady County. And that's why I'm running for this state office, to try and bring those ideas and push the economic development, push the job creation, and work on keeping taxes, not even at the 2% level, work at cutting taxes and giving the residents the property tax relief they deserve.
Now, you're running in a very rural area of Albany County and Schenectady County and Montgomery County. What are the farmers saying to you?
Well, there's, of course, farmers struggle. They're looking for help as well. I have a couple of farmers actually in my district that I talk to occasionally, and it's very hard. It's very hard for them, and they find that it's very hard to run the farm. It's very hard for them to actually. It's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than people think, and they find that the family members sometimes don't want to. That's not what they want to do. They want to do something else. So farms are actually. You're seeing less and less farms in the area, so we have to do something to help these farmers to help them survive.
How do you want to help the farmers?
Well, we have to look at finding ways to maybe give them tax relief, finding ways to find them help, finding ways to keep the farms going so that they don't necessarily close down, finding ways to transition these farms into people that maybe want to do that work. It starts with education, because I think in our school systems we don't necessarily talk about farming too much. That's something that we need to educate the public on, as well as to where there's in our school system. Are the kids learning what goes into finding those fruits and vegetables at the supermarket? What it takes to produce those and to bring them there? Where do they come from? What effort goes into it? What would happen if there were no farms? Where would we'd be getting these products from? Milk, all products that are produced from a farm, eggs, and trying to educate people and trying to find out, if people are interested in participating in that process.
We just taped a show with Beverly Katerowitz, who does the publicity for the Schaghticoke Fair, which is coming up this week. And one of the issues, we got talking about farming, because obviously very important to the Schaghticoke Fair. And you've got the Fulton County Fair coming up out your way. But anyway, we were talking about the fact that kids think that chicken McNuggets come from the chicken McNugget machine, and they have no idea.
That's exactly what I'm
point.
talking about. I'm talking about it, and a lot of people never see a farm, and they don't realize where these things come from. I sit on the board for the Cornell Cooperative Extension. They have a lot of programs to try and get this information out there, do outreach, and try and help people understand how important farms are to our society.
Well, they're very, very important. Also, another thing you were talking about, you're concerned about the fact that people in the legislature now, the state legislature, are talking about getting a raise, and you don't feel that's appropriate during these economic times.
No, this is something that I've come out against as well. I have never voted for a salary increase as a county legislator. I actually donate part of my salary for scholarships for local students in my district, for graduating high school students that are going on to engineering. I donate part of my salary for that. I think that in these tough economic times, this is something that is just not right. We shouldn't be paying legislators anymore. That they are getting paid already. There's families that are struggling. There's families that have lost their jobs. There's people that have had to take pay cuts just to keep their job. And this is something that I've come out strongly against.
You know what I think is a very good thing, and it's nothing against the legal profession, but I think we've had too many people that are attorneys in representing us in our state legislature. When you have people like a John McDonald or you or a Bob Riley coming out of farming, I think that's a much better thing. And I know that you're going to win, and I know that you're going to do a good job for us.
Well, I have my background is I'm a first generation here. My family comes from my family comes from a part of Italy, and they grew up on a farm, and a lot of those traditions I was very close to growing up here. My father always, they made their own cheese, they made their own wine. I raise my own chickens now, so I kind of adapted to a lot of those things, and they really
so your
mean
kids
a lot
know
to
what a
me.
farm is.
Yeah, they do. I try to keep all parts of life at my house and introduce them to as many things as I can, as my parents did with me.
Well, we only have about a minute left. Is there anything else that Angelo Santa Barbara, member of the Schenectady County Legislature, who is running for the 111th Assembly District, would like to say to our listeners this morning?
Well, I'm going to say that I'm glad to have this opportunity to serve as a county legislator. I'm glad to have this opportunity to run for state office. I've been door to door. I've worn out a few pairs of shoes.
Which is good for the shoe industry.
Yes, it's good. I just had my shoes fixed actually at a cobbler on Union Street. But I'm hearing the message at the door. I know jobs are very important, local jobs. That's something I fully intend to work on as a state legislator. Economic development is going to be my priority, to bring those jobs back and keep property taxes under control. I hear the message loud and clear. We've been able to do it in Schenectady County, and now I'm looking forward to have the opportunity to do it in the New York State Assembly.
Angelo Santa Barbara, thank you so much for joining us. Aaron Mayer, he'll be back next week with us. I'm Joe Cotton. Have a wonderful day up at Saratoga at the races, and may your horse win.